Up next on Parks Wreck and Roll, 421 parks in 1 year, flying kites over Clarksburg, and riding bikes underwater? Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Parks Wreck and Roll. How many different parks are you planning to go to this year? 5, 10, 25? Well, how about 421? That's the goal of Montgomery County's Planning Board Chair, Casey Anderson. He wants to visit all the parks in the Montgomery County Department of Parks system, which comprise more than 10% of our county's real estate, almost 37,000 acres. We met up with Casey in late March at a new park along the Capitol Crescent Trail.
Well, I hear from a lot of people all over the county about what they like or what they'd like to see from their parks. So I thought it would be good to be able to see for myself exactly what every neighborhood has or doesn't have in terms of park assets and really get the big picture on what's in our system. And I'm not sure that there's anybody who's been to all 421, or certainly not in 1 year. So that seemed like a good New Year's resolution.
Casey's endeavor is being chronicled on social media, where he is also joined by park users, friends, and park staff.
I wanted to use this as a chance to get out and talk to people. A lot of times I run into park users. I was with Mike Riley, the Parks Director, the other day off of Beach Drive looking at some parks, and we saw some roller skiers. People who ski on dry land with these skis that have basically rollerblades attached to them. So it's always interesting to see different ways that people are using the parks that I hadn't thought of before. I've also called up some of the neighborhood activists that I know. For example, in East Bethesda, last week I was out with Amanda Farber. Took the mayor of the town of Chevy Chase for a little tour of the parks in her neighborhood. And it's really just an opportunity to talk to people about what they see in our parks and the kinds of improvements that they would like.
Even county council members have met him along the way.
I took a little dog walking tour with Nancy Florine. She lives in Garrett Park, so we hit some of the parks in our neighborhood with our dogs.
The 421 parks in the Montgomery County Park system vary from small urban parks to huge regional parks and includes more than 300 athletic fields, 290 playgrounds, 162 miles of natural trails, 4 golf courses, and 4 nature centers. Then there are lakes, ice rinks, historic sites, dog parks, equestrian centers, a full-service campground, formal botanical gardens, miniature trains, and a carousel, among lots of other special features. Have you seen the Tai Chi court or the outdoor ropes course?
The largest park is Little Bennett, which is near Clarksburg. It's about 3,500 acres, so almost 10% of the land in the park system is that one major park. It's a huge natural area, a lot of forests. There's a golf course at the very northern end, but for the most part it's undeveloped, and you can really get lost in Little Bennett if you want to. It's almost like being in the back country. As for small parks, I don't know what the smallest is, but we've got a lot of interesting parks in some of our urban areas, like Acorn Park in Silver Spring, which is where the legend has it the original Silver Spring was discovered. The one that's behind me here on River Road is one of the newest in progress. We have recently completely renovated parks at Evans Parkway, for example, just south of Wheaton. We have a lot of great park projects ongoing. There's one in downtown Bethesda where we just acquired a property that when the Purple Line's done, it'll be right across the street from the area that right across the street from the Oarsman Honda and what used to be Barnes & Noble. So we have a lot of new parks coming into the system, but also a lot of projects to refresh the older parks and bring them up to date. We have great parks everywhere in the county. I knew that going into this project, but I really have found some of our smaller parks that nobody's really ever heard of if you don't happen to live in the same neighborhood, like Brown's Conservation Area, which is up in the Colesville area. It's a really beautiful natural space. One of my favorites is Fairland Park, which is much larger area up in the northeast part of the county. It has a great trail system. It also is the only park that straddles both Montgomery and Prince George's County. And so there's a lot of great parks that some of them are a little bit out of the way, but it's worth the trip to explore and see what we've got.
To learn more about the parks managed by the Montgomery County Department of Parks, go to montgomeryparks.org. A popular Montgomery County park is the Ovid Hazen Wells Recreational Park, located in Clarksburg. It's here each year that the community gathers and reaches for the sky. Here's more.
Well, today is the 10th annual Kites Over Clarksburg Festival. It's a family-friendly festival where you can fly kites, the children can play games, do crafts, there's pony rides, the park police horses will be here, various departments are here, recycling, park archaeology, local businesses, and it's just a fun time, very low-key. We run it the Clarksburg Foundation runs it in conjunction with the Montgomery Parks Department.
So as a kid I used to fly kites all the time and make my own, and as I was telling my daughter about it, she wanted us to purchase a kite, and thankfully my wife heard about Kites Over Clarksburg, and we thought it was a good first opportunity for her to fly her first kite.
It's run by the Clarksburg Foundation, which we set up purely for this event and other events, but so far this is the event that the Clarksburg Foundation runs in conjunction with Montgomery Parks. We offer SSL hours. Students can get 5 hours for this event, and it's a good, clean, fun event, and I think they enjoy it.
Teens were selling kites or helping users build them. They also handled donations, canned goods, eyeglasses, and hearing aids.
What's going on is the best of community, right? The Clarksburg community having a kite festival. I love flying a kite, and so many people do it. So it's a way to bring community together and then to support community, because they're donating canned goods, they are donating eyeglasses.
And we're just out here today bringing some canned goods and hoping to enjoy the nice weather and get these guys' kites off the ground.
What do you guys think about this?
Good.
It's good.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, and did you get the kite up yet?
So we've tried, right?
We tried.
You gotta get moving.
This is a kite that my grandfather gave me. We used to go, he lived in Virginia, so we would go to the parks in Alexandria and fly kites. And that was one of my happiest memories with him. So we're trying to use it, I'm not very good at it, so it's a little bit broken. So we're about to go take it to the doctor and get it fixed up so we can get it up in the air.
The park has an interesting present, past, and future.
Ovid Hazen Wells is about 290 acres. We have 2 softball fields, 1 baseball field, and 3 reservable shelters, as well as a playground. It is largely an agricultural lease right now. We have a partnership with a foundation called the Red Wiggler Foundation. They teach people with developmental needs about growing sustainable food. And currently there's some plans to get a carousel up here in the future that is at Wheaton right now.
In 1981, Mrs. Hallie Wells donated the land for the park in honor of her husband, Ovid Hazen Wells. Included in the deed is a historic carousel, which was originally located on the National Mall and now sits at Wheaton Regional Park. But it's slated to return to Ovid Hazen Wells Park probably within the next 5 to 6 years. But in the meantime, park visitors can enjoy other park amenities and the Kites Over Clarksburg Festival, which soars on the last Saturday of March.
An annual event, and it's a great opportunity for us to engage with the community and, make that connection.
For more information, go to montgomeryparks.org/festivals. The Montgomery County Department of Recreation hosts dozens of water fitness classes. The newest one is probably its most unusual, cycling underwater. Here's instructor Teresa Shelton to explain the benefits of Aqua Spin. We caught up with her at the Martin Luther King Jr. Swim Center in Silver Spring.
Aqua Spin is basically spinning in the water, a cycling class in the water.
But the bikes begin on land. The staff at the pool have a unique way of getting them in the water.
The one that counts.
They come out, they put them in the water for us. The students will come out, they'll measure their bikes, and they'll put them in, and then we'll get going and rocking and rolling.
All right, let's go. Warm it up.
You get high intensity, high caloric burn, but you get the benefits of any water-based exercise class you have, which is cushioning the joints and the muscles. So people with like bad knees, bad hips, really benefit because they can work at a very high level and protect those joints.
15 seconds.
Like any other fitness class, or especially water-based classes, you can go at your own pace, you know. But this can be a very high intensity, or you can go at a lower pace. My degree is in physical education and kinesiology, and I've been actually teaching fitness classes all my adult life. I got into the water aspect of it, I guess about 10 years now. It's actually started, I believe it was Italy, and it started as rehabilitation. And then they discovered that, wow, this is more than rehabilitation. This is really a great workout. And so then it took off in Europe, and then it came to the United States. And as far as Montgomery County is concerned, we just started this winter session in January, the Aqua Spin classes.
No wonder, huh?
Lots of fun.
To register for this or other Department of Recreation classes, go to activemontgomery.org. Well, that's it for today's show. See you next time.